let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this for a moment. What if the biggest thing standing between you and the life you truly deserve is not your bank account, not your past, not your boss, not your circumstances, but a thought, just a thought, one tiny, sneaky, deeply familiar thought that has been whispering in your ear since you were about 7 years old. A thought that sounds so reasonable, so normal, that you never once questioned whether it was actually true. Well, today, my darling, we are going to question it. In fact, we are going to walk right up to that thought, look it in the eyes, and lovingly tell it that it no longer runs the show. Now, before we go any further, let me just acknowledge something. You are tired. Not just physically tired, although, yes, you probably need more sleep and less doom scrolling at midnight, but soul tired. The kind of tired that comes from trying so hard and still feeling like abundance is something that happens to other people. Like success is a club with a very exclusive guest list, and somehow your invitation keeps getting lost in the mail. You have watched people who seem no smarter than you, no more talented than you, walk into opportunities that feel like they were meant for you. And somewhere along the way, you started wondering if maybe the universe just has a weird sense of humor when it comes to your life. You are not alone in this. I want you to know that so deeply in your bones. This feeling, this persistent sense that you are somehow behind, somehow less than, somehow undeserving of the beautiful things life has to offer, it is one of the most common human experiences on the planet. It crosses every income bracket, every nationality, every background. The person in the mansion on the hill is often running the exact same mental program as the person just trying to make rent. The software is the same. The address is just different. And that right there is the key to everything we are going to talk about today. Because here is what most people do not realize. Your outer world is almost always a reflection of your inner world. I know that might sound like something you'd see stitched onto a throw pillow, but stay with me, because there is actual science behind this that is worth understanding. Your brain, that magnificent, slightly dramatic organ living rent-free in your head, has something called a reticular activating system. It is essentially your brain's filter. Every single second, your brain is bombarded with millions of pieces of information, sounds, sights, sensations, and the reticular activating system decides what you consciously notice and what gets filtered out. And here is the fascinating part. It filters based on what you already believe to be true and important to you. So if you believe, deep down, that money is hard to come by, that you are not the kind of person who succeeds, that good things are for other people, your brain will literally filter out the evidence that contradicts that belief. The opportunity that was right in front of you, filtered. The person who could have connected you to something wonderful, filtered. The moment of inspiration that could have changed everything, filtered. It is not that luck avoids you. It is that your brain has been trained through years of repeated thought patterns to be blind to it. Now here is where it gets a little uncomfortable. And I say this with so much love. Most of these belief programs were installed before you were old enough to have an opinion about them. Before age 7, your brain operates primarily in theta brainwaves, essentially a hypnotic state. You were a wide open, completely receptive sponge, Everything you saw, heard, and experienced got recorded without a single critical filter. A parent who struggled with money, a teacher who told you that you were not gifted, a moment where you asked for something and were made to feel greedy or foolish, all of it went straight in. No bouncer at the door, no little voice saying, "Wait, is this actually true?" Just in it went, stamped as fact, filed under "This is just how things are." And you have been living from that programming ever since, running your adult life on software that was written by a child who did not even know what a mortgage was. Bless that child, love that child completely, and then, gently but firmly, decide that it is time for an upgrade. So, how do we actually do this? How do we reprogram a mind that has been running the same loops for decades? The good news is that it is absolutely possible. The brain has something called neuroplasticity, which is the ability to form new neural pathways at any age. Every time you think a new thought consistently, you are literally, physically rewiring your brain. You are carving new grooves into the landscape of your mind. It takes repetition. It takes patience. And it takes something that a lot of people skip over entirely: the willingness to feel a little ridiculous at first. Here is the first thing I want you to do. And please do not roll your eyes at me, because I am about to suggest something that sounds deceptively simple. I want you to start noticing your thoughts without judging yourself for having them. Just notice. When you open your bills and something in your stomach tightens, notice the thought that comes with that. When someone announces good news and there is a little flicker of, "Why not me?" Notice that. When you start to dream about something bigger and then immediately hear an internal voice saying, "Yeah, right, who do you think you are?" Notice that voice. You are not the thoughts. You are the one noticing the thoughts. That distinction is everything. The second thing I want you to do is begin speaking to yourself differently. Now, I am not asking you to lie to yourself or pretend your problems do not exist. I am asking you to choose thoughts that are more expansive, more open, more possibility-oriented. Instead of, "I can never afford that," try, "I am open to finding creative ways to bring more abundance into my life." Instead of, "I always mess things up," try, "I am learning and growing every single day." Instead of, "Nobody ever gives me a chance," try, "I am becoming someone that opportunities are drawn to." These are not denial, they are directions. You are pointing your reticular activating system toward a different destination. The third strategy is one of my absolute favorites, and it is this. Begin to look for evidence that the universe is on your side. This sounds soft, I know, but it is actually a rigorous mental practice. Every day, find 3 things, just 3, that went right, that felt like a small gift, that reminded you that life can be good. The parking spot that appeared at exactly the right moment. The text from a friend that came just when you needed it. The unexpected idea that popped into your head and actually worked. Start collecting this evidence like it is precious, because it is. You are teaching your brain a new pattern. You are saying, "Good things happen for me," and slowly, then suddenly, it will start to believe you. The fourth thing, and this is where real transformation lives, is to act as if you already are the person you want to become. Not fake it till you make it in the hollow, performative sense, but genuinely ask yourself, how would I carry myself today if I already trusted that I was supported? How would I make decisions if I believed abundance was my natural state? What would I say yes to? What would I finally stop apologizing for? Begin making even small decisions from that version of yourself and watch how differently the world responds. Now here is your homework, and I genuinely want you to do this today, not tomorrow, not next Monday, when you are feeling more motivated. Today, I want you to write down one belief about yourself, or about money or success that you know is limiting you. Just one. Write it down, look at it, and then write next to it. This was never actually true. And then write what you choose to believe instead. That is it. That is your first step. It will feel small. It is not small. That piece of paper is the beginning of a completely different life. You came to this video for a reason. There is something in you that already knows you are meant for more. That knowing is not arrogance, it is truth. Abundance is not a reward for the special few. It is the natural state of a mind that has been freed from the stories that told it otherwise. And you, my love, are absolutely capable of that freedom. If this resonated with you, I want you to do one more thing right now. Leave a comment below telling me what limiting belief you are choosing to release today, not next week, today. Your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to read to take their own first step. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to keep walking this path together, subscribe, because we are just getting started. And the life waiting for you on the other side of these beliefs is more beautiful than you have even allowed yourself to imagine yet.